Testing. Test. Is this thing on? Can you guys hear me? It's finally back, y'all. It's NBA season, and I'm here. live and in living color, in the flesh, to help you guys with all your NBA player prop research on PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks sponsoring the show. It's the CJ Curry Show, your daily NBA news, NBA prop talk, all things basketball related, but mostly we focus on PrizePicks. That's what it's all about, right, gang? Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications turned on. Slap that like button. We're trying to run the likes up. I want to go to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. By January 1st, 2023, that would be my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers. I need you guys to share the stream. I need you guys to tell people about the channel. I need you guys to help me get to 10,000. I can't do it without you guys. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, as a matter of fact. Shout out to everybody out there. I see a lot of Patreon members in the audience this morning, this afternoon, depending on where you're watching. If you're not in Patreon, there's still time to get into Patreon. We've been killing it with baseball, but baseball season's coming to an end. NFL's been kind of shaky. It's been kind of hit or miss. But it's basketball season now. And that's why all you guys are here, right? For the most part. Appreciate you guys. Mark H said he hit the over on the PrizePicks dad hat. Yeah, I came in with the fresh white cap. Fresh white cap today. But it's going to be no cap when we get into these NBA player props. Listen, we got 2 games tonight, guys. Don't want y'all to get too hyped. Don't want you to go too crazy because tomorrow we got a whole lot more games. Today is just a 2-game NBA slate. So let's save some coins for tomorrow, right? We don't want to spend all of our money tonight because we got some things that are bubbling and brewing, especially out in Golden State. You know, we're talking about the Golden State Warriors. Steve Kerr's already come out and said, hey, our guys are not in good shape right now. They are not conditioned to play a full load of minutes, which means these guys are going to be capped about 30 minutes or so, according to Coach Kerr. So appreciate you, gang, for being here. I mean, shout out to everybody. Like, you guys really came and showed out for NBA. It's a whole lot different than NFL. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, I did a couple of NFL streams. Some of you guys showed up, all the hardcore, the loyals. I appreciate you guys showing up for those NFL streams. But from here on out, this channel is going to be dedicated to all things basketball. Basketball content. So it could be PrizePicks basketball content. It could be just a reaction to what's going on in the league. And some other original NBA content. So if you know an NBA fan, have them subscribe to the channel and let's grow. Let's grow together. Appreciate everybody being here. Let's run through the list real quick. Roy, what's up? Lee Van Pierre. Pierre is back. Mac B's in the building. He says, shout out to the Patreon gang. Yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, man, Patreon's the way to do it. It's just $20 a month. You can win it back in one night. $10 2-pick power play. Takes care of that $20. And, you know, you'll make a lot more. You'll make a lot more this NBA season. Gibbs in the building. What's good, family? Jimmy Green. Shout out to you, Lord De Niro. Welcome back to the live stream. Appreciate you. Can't wait to have you back in the Patreon community. Gordo's in the building. Let's go. We back. Mark H. Shout out to you. Work productivity has dropped by 20%. Don't tell your bosses. And definitely, don't blame me. I had nothing to do with your productivity at work. All right. Who else we got in here? We got Cash in the building. Guardy says the GOAT is back. Appreciate that. I don't know about a GOAT. I'm just a man here trying to help you folks out. So hopefully we do that today. Chris, shout out to you. Brock, what's up? We got Divine Truth Allah. He says peace. Peace back at you, brother. Love it. Michael Johnson's in the building. Mr. David Winker himself, a.k.a. Who Dat. Love to see you here, my friend. Blake, shout out to you and all the other Patreon members. Thank you for being here, Blake. Thank you guys for showing out. Man, have I missed this. This really warms my heart. This really warms my heart to see all you guys out here showing up and showing out. Roy's in the building. Craig's in the building. Jojo Rabbit's in the building. Shout out to my man, Mr. Fields. Jordan's in the building. Emo, Jimmy Green, Gibb. I mean, shoot, we got the whole gang here. Corey says NFL's too inconsistent. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Yeah, man. Wow, it's great to see everybody here. Seriously, though, if you guys can share the channel with your favorite NBA friend or your favorite PrizePicks friend. Let's try to grow this thing up. If we could get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, man, I would feel overwhelmed and blessed. I appreciate everybody. All right, listen. I could sit here and say hello and say what's up and shout out everyone all day long, but we got to get down to business. Let's start things off by looking at some Purdle. It's the NBA word game. You guys are going to help me solve this. Listen, I'm a little rusty. There's been a lot of movement in the offseason, players getting traded, players getting released, people getting signed, people getting drafted. So my NBA roster knowledge might be a little bit rusty right now. So you guys are going to help me out. Let's solve Purdle together, shall we? I think we shall. All right, y'all. In case you didn't know, you get 8 guesses on Purdle. We're trying to figure out who the mystery player is. I'm going to start things off with one of my home favorites. Let's go Franz Wagner with our first guess. And if you get a green, that means it's an exact match. If you get a yellow, that means it's a partial match. It's close, but it's no cigar. So first guess, Franz Wagner. We know this player is going to be in the Eastern Conference. This player is a forward, and he is 6'10". So we actually did pretty good by guessing Franz Wagner. 3 greens right out of the gate. But we do know that this player is not in the Orlando Magic organization, nor are they in the Southeast Division of the Eastern Conference. Which leaves, a lot of Eastern teams out there. Non-Southeastern teams. All right, this player's older than 21. Jersey number is going to be lower than 22. Jeff is saying Al Horford. Big Al. Let's go for it, man. Al Horford, of course, will be taking the floor tonight for the Boston Celtics, going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. I can tell you this is not Al Horford, but this player is in the Atlantic Division of the Eastern Conference. Not a center, though. More of a forward. Al Horford actually a little bit shorter than Franz Wagner. Can you believe that? So we know this player is 6'10". Al Horford doesn't make the cut. He's a little bit too short, and he's too old. He's 36 years old. We're looking for a player that's younger than 36 with a jersey number that's below 42. Actually, a jersey number that's below 22. That's Franz Wagner's number. Anthony Edwards says he loves me. I love you back, Ant. Appreciate you, brother. So we know that this is not Al Horford. We know that this is not Franz Wagner. It cannot be Danilo Gallinari because Danilo Gallinari is a Boston Celtic, and we know this player does not play for the Celtics. I'm seeing some Ben Simmons guesses. We want to go there? Ben Simmons? Let's go there. Ben Simmons is not the correct answer, but this player is a Brooklyn Net. No, we know they play the Eastern Conference. We know they're in the Atlantic Division. More of a forward than a guard. 6'11", a little bit too tall. Ben Simmons, a little too tall to fit the bill here. But this player is older than 26, but younger than 36. So between 26 and 36 years old. Jersey number is a low single-digit jersey number, below number 10. Mr. Gonzalez, yes, we are back. T-Bone says checking in. Shout out to T-Bone. What we got here, gang? What do we got? It's got to be a Brooklyn Net. Royce O'Neal, Gordo? I don't hate that guess. In case you guys didn't know, Royce O'Neal, now a member of the Brooklyn Nets. Let's give Royce O'Neal a shot here. No, Royce O'Neal too short. He's only 6'5", gang. Cannot be Royce O'Neal. We need somebody taller. But this person is older than 29, but younger than 36. We're getting there. Royce too short. You're right. I thought Royce O'Neal might have been a little taller than that, but apparently he's a short little dude. Brooklyn Nets. Who else we got on the Brooklyn Nets? Nick Claxton. I'm not mad at the Nick Claxton guess. Let's run Nick Claxton's name in here. Not Nick Claxton. But I like the guess, guys. Who else we got on Brooklyn? It can't be Kevin Durant, can it? Could it be KD? I think it could be KD. How have we overlooked Slim Reaper, Kevin Durant, all this time? I know he's got a single-digit jersey number. I know he's between 29 and 36, right? I know he's tall. I think he might be 6'10", and he is a forward. I think a lot of boxes are being checked here. I'm going to do it. But before I do it, Let's check the silhouette. Oh, come on, y'all. Look at this. Look at this. You could tell by the little beard, by the low haircut. This got to be Kevin Durant, man. I think you guys got it right. Shout out to whoever finally guessed this thing, man. Kevin Durant, bang. We got it, baby. It is KD. KD. Kevin Durant. You saw the ball spot through the silhouette? Oh, Lord. George, say it ain't so, brother. Say it ain't so. It's Kevin Durant. It took us 6 guesses, gang, but we got the job done. A little longer. A little more guesses than I would have liked. We got to sharpen up on these Purdles in the future. But congratulations. We got it, gang. Appreciate your help. It's Kevin Durant. Faux show. All right, let's move on from that. Let's talk about some NBA news. What is going on? Well, we got the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics tonight. Let's get our scroll on here. Sixers projected to start James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, new addition to the Philadelphia 76ers. He's taken over the role of the Matisse Thybulle, Danny Green, right? Kind of that defensive guy who's joining the rotation for the Philadelphia 76ers. So that's the projected lineup for the Philadelphia 76ers. For the Boston Celtics, we got Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford as their projected starting 5. They're going to be without Danilo Gallinari, who tore his ACL playing for Team Italy over the summer, and Robert the Time Lord Williams, one of our favorite players, at least one of mine from last season. He's going to be out. He had to undergo knee surgery for the Time Lord, so he will not be active tonight. So their front court's going to be a little thin at that forward and center spot. Now, a little news and notes here. It says Gallinari will miss most of the upcoming season, which creates a need for additional minutes for guys like Grant Williams and Sam Hauser. Additionally, expect Al Horford to man the center position with Blake Griffin. Yes, the Boston Celtics signed Blake Griffin, with Blake Griffin backing him up while Robert Williams recovers from knee surgery for at least the next couple of months. I think they were expecting Time Lord to come back sometime in November. That might have even gotten pushed back to December. So no Robert Williams, no Danilo Gallinari. Now the second game of the night, we've got the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the Golden State Warriors. Projected lineup for LA, kind of controversial here, but it's going to be LeBron James, Kendrick Nunn, Lonnie Walker, Anthony Davis, and Damian Jones. Who? I said Dame Jones. Who? Yeah, Damian Jones. I don't know who that is, truthfully, to be honest with you. But yes, a key omission here is Russell Westbrook. I think they're going to try and bring him off the bench, guys. You hate to see it, but man, Russell Westbrook just ain't the move. He just hasn't been it, all right? He hasn't been it. But we got a long list of potential injuries. Dennis Schroeder is going to be out. I don't think he's going to be playing tonight. Looks like Troy Brown Jr. is going to be out as well. Thomas Bryant out. So it says here, look for the roles of Westbrook, Walker, Pat Bev, Nunn, and Austin Reeves to be more secure, while Schroeder and Brown Jr. remain out. Additionally, Damon Jones and Juan Toscano Anderson should be more firmly in the front court rotation in Bryant's absence. And then last but not least, Golden State Warriors projected lineup: Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney. Now for betting purposes, I would say that this is a nice team to bet on. Why? Because their starting 5 is pretty much the same as it was last year, right? No real new additions or different pieces in that starting 5. Patrick Baldwin will be questionable today, and Andre Iguodala is out. He's still trying to get in shape. As we said at the top of the show, Steve Kerr already said that the starters are going to be capped at about 30 minutes tonight. Their conditioning isn't where it needs to be in order for them to play a full run of minutes. So keep that in mind when you're considering taking some overs and unders, the more, the less, whatever you like to call it. Baldwin Jr. is questionable for his debut, but he's on the fringes of the rotation. Even when healthy, Iguodala still needs time to condition himself for the season, which should provide additional opportunity for the likes of Moses Moody and Dante DiVincenzo on the wing in the interim. Damian Jones played for the Kings. I kind of do remember him now that you say that. I kind of do remember Damian Jones. All right, so that's your news for today, Gabe. Taking a look here using RotoWire, we're taking a peek at the projected starting lineups. We kind of already talked about this, but yeah, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid for Philadelphia. You got Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford for Boston. It'll be interesting to see how they get Malcolm Brogdon involved. That was one of their big offseason free agent signings, getting Malcolm Brogdon to Boston. Or maybe they traded for him. Either way, one of their free agent acquisitions or one of their offseason moves was getting Malcolm Brogdon. So I guess he's coming off the bench to run the second unit. As far as LA and Golden State, pretty much the same thing that we already saw. Pat Bev, Kendrick Nunn, Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis starting five for the Warriors. Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, Green, and Kevon Looney. So there you go. I mean, that's what we should expect tonight. As far as totals and spreads go, we got about 216.5 points for the Philadelphia and Boston game. Looks like a 2.5 point spread, meaning this game should stay close and competitive, which is what we like to see. We want to take the mores or the overs, right? And then over on the LA Golden State side, we got 224.5 points. It's the higher scoring game out of the two, but Golden State's favored by 7 points, despite most of their guys being on a minutes limit. So there you go, gang. That's the breakdown. So what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to take a look at 5 picks. 5 picks that I found across the industry, some popular plays that I've seen mentioned throughout the day. We're going to take a look at those over on PrizePicks. We're going to figure out, are these good picks, bad picks? Should we take more? Should we take less? So you can kind of see these over here on the side. We got Jason Tatum for more than 7.5 rebounds, Joel Embiid for more than 3 assists, Marcus Smart for more than 4.5 assists, Klay Thompson for more than 15.5 points, and Andrew Wiggins for less. Our first less of the season, potentially, with Andrew Wiggins at 23.5 PRA. So those are some plays that, again, I've seen floating around different places. We're going to take a look at those, and then I'll take some questions if you guys have them at the end of today's live stream. So let's get down to business here using props.cash. Shout out to props.cash, my favorite player prop research tool. 25% off your first month of props.cash. Check the description of today's video. You can go down there and get that promo code and link. Let's start researching. Let's sign into props.cash and see what they've got cooking for us today. Now, speaking of cooking, Props.cash, I've been talking to the creator, the founder of Props.cash. He promises me that there is a lot of really cool NBA player prop research features that will be implemented this NBA season. Be on the lookout for those. If you're not using Props.cash just yet, you're going to definitely be more enticed to use Props.cash here for NBA player prop research in the near future. On top of that, we're going to be taking a look at Fantasy Labs. We did this a lot last season. We're going to be looking at the projections on Fantasy Labs. We're going to be comparing those projections to PrizePicks. We're going to be taking a look at some of the other sports books that are out there, comparing those sports book lines to the PrizePicks lines. All right. And we're going to try to find some value. On top of this, we've got StatMuse, a very, very helpful research tool when it comes to player props. If you guys are not familiar with StatMuse, check it out. You can pretty much plug in anything you want to know, especially NBA related. They're very good for NBA player prop research, and StatMuse will help you out. It'll get you going. So let's start with this first one here. I see a lot of people liking Jason Tatum over 7.5 rebounds. Let's take a look. We already talked about no Danilo Gallinari, no Robert the Time Lord Williams. We don't really have a ton of preseason data that we can reliably hang our hats on. We don't really have much to go off of. We're kind of flying blind. That's why I say kind of ease into the NBA. Give it like a week or two and then start loading that big money down. Start throwing that big money down, right? So props.cash will hit the drop down. We'll go to total rebounds. Let's look at last season. We will turn on this little feature, games without Robert Williams. So we'll take Robert Williams off the floor, and you can see how many games Jason Tatum actually had where he played without Robert Williams last season. Total of 25 games. In those 25 games, he had 8 or more rebounds in 13 out of 25 games. So that's a 52% hit rate. When we take this a step further and look at what he did against Philadelphia, he actually played 2 games last season against the 76ers without Robert Williams in the lineup. He had 9 rebounds in one, 12 rebounds in another. So he is 2 for 2 against Philadelphia without Robert Williams in the lineup. So I could see why people might be persuaded to take an over or go for more than 7.5 rebounds on Jason Tatum. Gang, are you rocking with the vibes here with Jason Tatum for more than 7.5 rebounds? Let me know in the chat. Leave a thumbs up if you like the over or more. Thumbs down if you're going to fade it or take less on Jason Tatum's rebounds at 7.5. But you can kind of see what's been happening here over the last season. 13 for 25, 52% hit rate, a little bit better than a coin flip on Jason Tatum. Let's take it a step further. I told you guys that we would look at some projections. We're going to do that using Fantasy Labs. I got Jason Tatum projected for 8.3 rebounds tonight. 8.3 rebounds. Out on your favorite sports books, he is also at 7.5 rebounds. Take a look at that line. We compare it to PrizePicks. It's even Steven. It's apples to apples. 7.5 boards if you're playing on a sports book or if you're playing on PrizePicks, right? Now, I will tell you this. On a site like BetMGM, we're seeing that the betting public is taking less or under on 7.5 rebounds. They think he's going to stay at 7 or fewer boards tonight. Minus 135 betting favorite to go under 7.5 boards. We're seeing him at minus 125 on some sites. So betting public doesn't seem so sure about this right now as far as how the money's coming in on this particular prop. So that's the first one. The next one we're going to take a look at, very popular prop. This guy, Joel Embiid at 3 assists. 3 assists. He was at 2.5. I believe it did get bumped up to 3. Let's take a look at this one. Joel Embiid historically has had his troubles with the Boston Celtics. Not great. He has not been great against Boston when it comes to scoring. So that typically means they'll double team him. He'll kick it out to a teammate. So maybe the assist is the way to go. So let's go take a look at the big man for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid, and his assist prop at 3. I believe he was at 2.5. It's been bumped up to 3. If you haven't played on PrizePicks before, promo code Curry gets you a 100% deposit match. But PrizePicks, notorious for bumping stuff up and bumping stuff down. So taking a look at last season, we've got Joel Embiid at 2. I'm going to put him down to 2.5 assists. He was 57 of 78 last season at 3 assists or better. So the push factor is definitely there. 3 assists or better. In 57 out of 78 games last season, 73% hit rate at 3 or better. What happens when we bump him up to 3.5? Because we don't play for pushes. We want to go over, right? We want 4 or more. If we take the over on this prop or the more on this prop, we want him to get at least 4, right? We don't want to push necessarily. So when we bump it up to 3.5 on props.cash, it's 41 of 78. So the hit rates drop down to 53%. 53%. Now I'm going to bump this back down to 2.5. Let's go take a look and see what he did against Boston last season. He played Boston a total of 4 times. 4 times, gang. At 2.5 assists, he covered in every game. 5 or more assists in 4 games against the Boston Celtics. 4 for 4, averaged almost 6 assists per game. 5.8 assists per game. 5.8 assists per game against the Boston Celtics in 4 games against them last season. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty damn good, right? Even if we bump this up to 3.5, again, we want at least 4 from Joel Embiid. He went for 4 or more in 1, 2, 3, 4 games. So he's still 4 for 4, 100%. Pretty good hit rates. Are you guys rocking with the vibes on this prop? Let me know in the chat. Thumbs up if you like the over. Thumbs down if you're just going to fade it. Or if you think maybe he stays under 3 assists for whatever reason. Let me know in the chat, guys. I like to hear your thoughts. I like to get your feedback on these things. Let's move it over. Get you a projection on this particular prop. I got Joel Embiid projected for just 2.4 assists. Now, projections aren't everything. They're not the end-all, be-all. Yes, there's some very good models out there that can help you with your player prop research. In this particular case, they are suggesting that he's going to be somewhere between 2 and 3 assists. So according to these projection models provided by Fantasy Labs, 2 to 3 assists is a possible outcome for Embiid. Now we take a look at all the different sports books here. He's a big betting favorite at 3.5 assists to stay under, to go for less than 3.5 assists. We're talking minus 155 betting favorite, minus 185, minus 170. I mean, those are some pretty strong odds. That's heavy juice on the under at 3.5. I see some of you folks liking this prop even at 3. Listen, it could push. It could tie. He could land on exactly 3 assists, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. You don't necessarily lose if that's the case. But for those that got it at 2.5, or maybe it's still available somewhere at 2.5, you probably got yourself pretty good value here, right? Pretty good value here. All right, let's move on. What was the other pick? Well, I saw Marcus Smart being mentioned today at 4.5 assists. We talked about Malcolm Brogdon being one of their key offseason acquisitions for the Boston Celtics. How will Malcolm Brogdon factor in? We don't quite know. He's coming off the bench from what it looks like. But will Malcolm Brogdon be a factor? Will he cut into Marcus Smart's productivity? Also worth noting, apparently Marcus Smart kind of tweaked his groin a little bit in the last preseason game that the Boston Celtics played. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I didn't see him on the injury report, but apparently there was reports that Marcus Smart kind of hurt himself a little bit. So let's go back and take a look at Marcus Smart's assists here. We can go down to Smart. Just click his name there. We can take a look at the assists. What he did last season was pretty darn good at 4.5. He hit the over, went for more than 4.5 assists in 67 out of 92 games played. That's a 73% hit rate. We like hit rates that are up there in the 60s and 70s and higher. Marcus Smart, nice hit rate, 73%. So let's go take a look and see what he did against Philadelphia. Well, he played Philly 3 times. He only went over 4.5 assists 1 time. Had 8 dimes back in December. The next 2 games, just 3 and 1. For me, I'm probably going to leave this one alone. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, let me know down in the comments section. Are you liking the over or are you liking the under on this prop? More or less? Do you think Malcolm Brogdon is going to be a thorn in Marcus Smart's side? Will he interfere with Marcus Smart's ability to dish out the rock? I don't know. We're going into this one a little bit blind, but let's take a look at a projection here on Marcus Smart using the Fantasy Labs projection models. They've got him projected for a healthy 6 assists tonight. I like what I see. 6 assists versus 4.5 on PrizePicks. Jeff saying I'd stay away from LeBron's assists. Okay, we'll get into that. Jojo Rabbit says I grabbed Marcus Smart under 22.5 PRA. That could be a good move. That was another pick that I saw floating around today. Taking the under or going for less on Marcus Smart's PRA. But anyway, back to the assists. He's projected for 6, guys. Across the industry here, he is at 4.5. Some sites we're seeing him as a betting favorite to go over, minus 121 odds. Not super strong odds. Some sites like BetMGM, we're seeing him bet under at minus 120. So the public is all over the place with this particular one. Thumbs up if you like it to go for more. Thumbs down in the comments or in the live chat if you like him to go for less than 4.5. All right, moving on to the later game. Golden State, LA. One of the picks that I seen floating around that was looking kind of nice. Klay Thompson over 15.5 points. We know Klay Thompson is a scorer. We know he's a shooter. We know he can get buckets. We know Klay Thompson's good at getting buckets. But can he get buckets on 30 or less minutes? Is he conditioned? Is he primed and ready to go tonight? Well, we won't know until the game actually starts, but let's take a look here at Klay Thompson at just 15.5 points. A little bit of risk here. Not quite sure what's going to happen when it comes to these rotations, when it comes to these minutes limits for the Golden State Warriors, but Klay Thompson last season at 15.5 points, 34 for 54, 63% hit rate. 63% hit rate. It's not bad. It's not bad, right? We've seen better. We've seen worse, but 63 is okay. 60 or higher. You know, I could be a buyer. You could persuade me to take the over or the more at 15.5. I'm not mad at that. What did he do against the Lakers last season? Well, he played them a total of 3 times. Had some monster games, 33 in one game, but comes back down to earth with just 7 points. And then 33 in the follow-up game. Let's see what happened there, that game where he only scored 7 points. Well, he played 31.4 minutes. He had plenty of run, plenty of opportunity there. In the other games where he played right around 30 minutes, dropped 33 points. So if Klay's shot is clicking, 15.5 points over the course of an entire NBA game does not seem like it's too difficult. Let's take a look at a projection here for Klay Thompson. Again, Fantasy Labs providing the projections today. 15.3 projected points. Whew, that's a tight projection, guys. Are we thinking Klay Thompson's got enough bullets in the chamber to get 16 or more points tonight? We got a projection of 15.3. That's pretty tight. We're seeing him out on various sports books at 15.5, gang. I will say that on most of these sites, he is a betting favorite to go over at 15.5. Thumbs up if you like the over or more. Thumbs down in the chat or in the comment section if you think Klay Thompson stays under 15.5. All right, it's a little dicey. Like I said, ease into the NBA tonight. Ease into it. We don't know what's going to happen with a lot of these rotations, especially with the Lakers and Warriors game. Got Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. We got the Golden State Warriors saying these guys are going to be limited. Now, if that's the case, if these guys are limited, well, maybe the next play is the way to go. We're talking Andrew Wiggins at 23.5 PRA. That's points plus rebounds plus assists. The only real impactful injury news here would be Andre Iguodala, but at this stage in his career, I don't know how impactful that really is. But this could be a way to go here, taking Andrew Wiggins under his PRA line of 23.5. So what that means is they take the total points plus the total rebounds plus the total assists and they combine them together. So do you think he's going to go for more or do you think he's going to go for less points, rebounds, and assists? PRA. Well, let's dig into the game logs from last season at 23.5. Andrew Wiggins was a pretty hit or miss type of guy, a coin flip, just a 49% hit rate, 47 for 95 over the course of the entire season. He did have some fantastic games throughout the postseason and playoff run for Golden State, but as a whole, holistically, 47 for 95, 49% is not a great hit rate. Let's take a look at what he did against the Lakers last season. Against the Lakers at 23.5, he played them a total of 4 times. Was just 1 for 4. 1 for 4. He just signed a big contract. He's going to come out there motivated now that he got the bag from the Golden State Warriors. He just signed a big extension, him and Jordan Poole. Doesn't look like they're going to be going anywhere. In fact, it looks like Draymond Green might be the one that's hitting the road check. But yeah, 1 for 4 against the Lakers last season. In that one game, he barely went over with 24 PRA. So if he's on any type of minutes restriction tonight, then I think we could possibly feel good about taking less than 23.5. You see the minutes here. He played 25, 32, 33, 27. So he wasn't really getting the job done against the Lakers last season. So if last season is any indication of what tonight might hold, then maybe we do take the less. Are we liking more or less? More or less on Andrew Wiggins at 23.5? Let me know in the live chat. More or less. Let's get you a projection on this particular prop here on Mr. Wiggins. Got Wiggins projected for just 16.3 PRA, gang. 16.3 points, rebounds, and assists. That's not a lot, which would really suggest, really indicate that we should be thinking about taking less on the 23.5. A 16.3 projection versus a 23.5 line. Hey, let's take our chances. He hasn't hit at a very high hit rate over the course of the entire season. He hasn't hit at a very high hit rate against the Los Angeles Lakers, and his projection's pretty darn low. That's pretty good for me. We take a look at his number across the industry here at 23.5. We're seeing some different results, mixed reviews. Some sites, they're taking him over. Some sites, they're taking him under. And by they, I mean the betting public. Real people like me and you with money in hand. They're taking the over on some sites. They're taking the under on other sites. But for the most part, I'm seeing more under or less plays on Andrew Wiggins at 23.5. So that could be a potential way to go. But that's it. Those are 5 picks, again, that we've seen across the industry. And of course, we cannot forget about this free square that's still going on PrizePicks right now, which is Steph Curry at 0.5 projected points. If you have not taken advantage of this, please make sure you do. Do not miss out on this. It does expire tonight. You got a little over 9 hours to still take advantage if you haven't done so yet. Obviously, the play here would be Steph Curry's going to go for more than 0.5 points. He's got to score 1 point or more, right? I think he gets it done. Any questions, guys? It's 40 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these streams under an hour. 30 minutes was sort of the idea, but we'll do a lightning round real quick. Just taking a look at projections, taking a look at some of your favorite sports books out there. You guys let me know, and I will go look those up for you real quick for the next few minutes before I get out of here. Appreciate everybody joining. If you have not liked today's live stream, I'd appreciate a like. If you're here for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate you subscribing. So let's take some questions if you guys got them. Everyday Fantasy is saying Klay Thompson's fantasy score at 22.5. He's liking Klay Thompson's fantasy score at 22.5. Well, let me get you a projection on that, my friend. I got Klay going for about 24 fantasy points. If you guys are looking at projections for fantasy score on PrizePicks, it is important that you are using FanDuel projections, not DraftKings. FanDuel projections to compare to PrizePicks. They are one and the same. They are exactly the same. 1-to-1, same scoring. All right, PrizePicks fantasy score compared to FanDuel fantasy score are exactly the same. So Klay Thompson over 22.5, I've got him going for about 24. Guys, there's a lot of you chatting in here. I would highly recommend super chats. That's a good way to make sure that your comment gets read. There's a lot of you talking, a lot of you posting stuff in here. I'm not going to get to everyone. Patrick, I see you though. I see you. I did not cover Tyrese Maxey threes yet. We could take a look at that though real quick. Maxey, he's not even on the PrizePicks board. Tyrese Maxey is not on the PrizePicks board, unfortunately. But yeah, if you guys want to guarantee yourself to be seen, I would highly recommend you use Super Chat. It's a great way to support the content, the channel. But I've got Tyrese Maxey at 1.8 projected 3-point makes tonight. He's at 2.5 on DraftKings Sportsbook, but it's a minus 150 to go under. But I'm not seeing Tyrese Maxey anywhere on the PrizePicks board. So let's see. AD over 9.5 rebounds. Jeff, I do like that one. I saw someone who was really on AD going for a double-double tonight. So if they're liking the double-double, that means that Anthony Davis is going to have to score at least 10 points and grab at least 10 rebounds. So I can definitely get on board with some Anthony Davis rebounds. I got it projected for 9.7 boards tonight. Closer to 10 than the 9.5. But yes, AD's rebounds could be a good look. To get Anthony Davis at anything under 10 rebounds is usually pretty good value. So you could go Anthony Davis for more than 9.5 rebounds. I ain't mad at that. Not mad at that. What else we got here? Yep, Lord De Niro also on the 80 rebounds at 9.5. Curry points. Well, I like Curry at over 0.5 points or for more than 0.5 points, but you're talking about probably this number at 23.5. I think this was at 26.5 at one point. Obviously, it's been bumped down with that news that Curry and company will be on some sort of restriction tonight, but Curry at 23.5 points. I got it projected for about 23 according to Fantasy Labs. Take a look here. He's at 23.5 on most books. Some books have him up at 24.5 still. But at 23.5, it looks like a lot of people are hammering the under. They don't expect Curry to score at least 24 tonight. So there's a quick look at that one for you. What else we got? Let's see. Official M20. Wait. Let's back it up. Blake says Jaylen Brown points. Jaylen Brown's points. That's one guy that we have not talked about. He was a little hit or miss down the stretch last season at 22.5, though. That's a pretty decent number. We could take a quick look at just a projection on Jaylen Brown for you guys who are watching. 22.5 projected points. So he's projected for exactly where he's at on PrizePicks today, 22.5. So that doesn't really help us a whole lot. But at 22.5 on your favorite sports books, betting favorite to go over. Some sites he's a betting favorite to go under. Again, the Malcolm Brogdon effect, right? How will he squeeze into the rotation? How will he impact guys like Jaylen Brown? That remains to be seen. But yeah, not really seeing much of an edge when it comes to the projections versus what we're seeing on PrizePicks. What else we got here? Official M23 Dog says under on the PJ Tucker 5 turnovers. Let's look at it. PJ Tucker at 0.5 turnovers. 0.5 turnovers. So if he turns the ball over once, we're screwed if we take the under or take the less, right? I don't actually have a projection for you on that. So just looking at the last few games that Tucker's played, I mean, you know, going back to the playoffs against Boston, he turned it over a couple of times against them. It's playing Boston tonight. I don't know if that means anything, but, you know, maybe, I guess. I'll probably be looking elsewhere, to be honest with you. Appreciate Patrick Serbin for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for the sub. Let's see here. What else we got? Bron under points. Huncho, like in LeBron James, to go for less than 26.5 points. Again, Westbrook coming off the bench. So it's going to be LeBron and AD for the most part, carrying the scoring load for that Lakers starting five. Probably going to see a little bit of Pat Bev sprinkled in there. I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of emerges as like the third scorer. Outside of those guys, I mean, Lonnie Walker. You interested in Lonnie Walker? Let's take a look at LeBron James. A projection for his points, 26.1. So that is slightly less than the 26.5. On your favorite sports books, he's at 26.5 to 27.5. At 26.5, looks like he's more of a betting favorite to go over at 26.5 than under at 27.5. What else we got? Cash is saying LeBron under assists. Perhaps he's at 6 right now. You could tell by these game logs here that he has not went for more than 6 assists in quite some time. While we've got LeBron James pulled up, got him projected for 5.1 dimes. That is less than 6. At 5.5 on the sports books, huge betting favorite at minus 150, minus 145 on some of these sites to go over 5.5. There you go. LeBron James assists. Could go under, according to the projections. Don't be surprised if he ends up with exactly 6 assists. Al Horford rebounds. Nick Nestor's bringing that one up. I think that is an interesting play. I also think that Al Horford's PRA is another swell option. You could go with more on either one of those. Let's just take a quick look at some projections for Big Al. Without Robert Williams, you expect Al Horford to have a bigger rebounding role, right, for the Boston Celtics. 9.1 is his projected rebound number today. He is a big betting favorite over 7.5 boards. Talking PRA at 19.5. That could be a very good way to go as well. His PRA projection is 9.7. There's no way that's right. So forget that. But on your favorite sports books, he's anywhere from 19.5 PRA to 20.5 PRA. But the hit rates do go up for Al Horford quite a bit without Robert Williams in the lineup. However, he has had his struggles against the Philadelphia 76ers, covering his PRA at 19.5. So that is definitely worth mentioning. Let's take a look real quick at Al Horford versus Philly with the PRA set at 19.5 thanks to Props.Cash. He's 0 for 3. 0 for his last 3 against Philly, covering at the 19.5. If we take Robert Williams off the floor, one game played against Philadelphia, he had 17 PRA. So he fell short by 3 PRA in that game. Taking a look at the season, games played without Robert Williams at 19.5 PRA. Al Horford 19 for 25, 76% hit rate. So that is very good. He just hasn't been so good against Philly. But yeah, I think Al Horford should step into a bigger role. Rebounds, PRA, I think both are pretty darn good. What else? Josh says that both Walker and Nunn look good in the preseason. All right, we'll see if it carries over to the regular season. It's a whole different beast, whole different ball game whenever, it's regular season. Ray's liking Anthony Davis for, 1 3-pointer he's got to make? 1-3 for AD. Possibly. I could see maybe possibly that happening. Let's see if I got a projection for you on that one. Anthony Davis projected for 0.3 3-point makes. That is less than 0.5. I'm going to stay away from it, but we are seeing some pretty good action on your favorite sports books. -140, -130. So, there you go. AD is a betting favorite to go over. Thank you for the sub, Patrick. Appreciate that. We got 2 Patricks to subscribe to the channel today. Appreciate that. Official M23 Dog says rebounds plus assists for Harden. He's going to take the over. Yeah, I've seen some folks on the over for Harden for PRA, but if you wanted to go rebounds plus assists, that could be an option as well. Let's take a look at the beard real quick. We'll make this one the last one, and then we'll wrap this thing up. We'll wrap it up with James Harden rebounds plus assists. His rebounds plus assists line is at 13.5. Getting you a projection on rebounds and assists for the beard. James Harden, he's projected for 5.7. Again, that cannot possibly be right, but looking at a sports book, he is at 14.5 rebounds, but is a betting favorite to go under, so his line's at 13.5 on PrizePicks because of that. So there you go. Oh, they just bumped James Harden up to 14 rebounds plus assists. Somebody just took the over. Somebody just did it. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with me this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're watching from. If you're catching the replay, shout out to the replay gang. I don't forget about you guys. Leave your favorite picks and props in the comments section below. If there's something I missed, I'd love to answer any questions you have. Links to everything I got going on, Patreon, Discord, Twitter, all down in the description below. Good luck tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Tell a friend, bring them with you tomorrow, and we'll catch you then. All right, guys? Peace.